one time. All right, Shalom, Akim. We would like to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to our apostles, great millstone, Ruel. Peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. I was the high spirit wind, Judah to my right. All right, and today, we're going to go into a live stream breaking down how Esau programmed us with the false reality. All right, because, you know, anything that Esau created, anything that man has created, is imitating a human being. And we all familiar with smartphones, computers, but essentially, computers are brains. All right, computers are brains, okay? But the first computers were man, okay? The first computers are man, all right? And Esau, he programmed man, okay? And we can start off by, you got to open this piece up.
Yeah, I had some Lamentations.
You can get Lamentations real quick. You get Isaiah, but the cover and cast.
Yep, that's spirit.
All right, because the reason why that you think we're significant, because Esau programmed you to think we're significant. All right, the reason why everything in life is basically a failure, because you thought that was the way to go. All right, you thought the food that Esau gave you was real food, and it wasn't. You thought the way to deal with women was the way you're supposed to deal with women, and it wasn't. You thought Esau's way of, or definition of education was an education, and it wasn't, all right? Esau has programmed you with the false reality, all right?
Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 16. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up.
Yep.
Certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it.
Yep. Yeah, that's when we got conquered, man. And it happened on that global slave trade, man. We went into captivity as a nation of people, man, from the southern kingdom or to the northern kingdom, man. And that was the worldwide celebration, man. All right, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 25, verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain.
And that's the Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, and that mountain is government, all right? And because the government is responsible for the media output, all right? So go ahead.
The face of the covering cast over all people.
And that it started with the media, because the media gave you a false sense of reality, all right? You know, the average American, especially Jake, they'll have a whole opinion about another country that they've never been to.
Their own frame of reference.
They have a frame of reference, because you are like a computer that has a software program, all right? And for the time you're a baby, they say to the time you're 7, that's where you get all your information stored into your mind. So by the time you're an adult, you have a reality put in your head. But the problem is that reality is inconsistent with the actual reality. You have a false reality put into your mind, all right?
And the veil that is spread over all nations.
And the veil that is spread over all nations. All right, you thinking the Messiah is a so-called white man, that's one. All right, you don't know where medicines come from. All right, the medicines come from the earth. Your boy Esau didn't tell you that. All right, that the man is more important than a woman. Esau didn't tell you that. All right, Esau didn't tell you that you're Israelites. All right, you have a false reality. You thought food was actually cheeseburgers, all right, fried chicken with processed grease in it, trans fat, all right, fried or trans fat. You have a false reality, but what happens is you can't cover up the effects of living in a false reality. You can't explain why everyone has cancers. You can't explain why the nation of Israel is known for diabetes, high blood pressure. You can't explain why. Yeah, these so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American women, they went to college and got degrees, but they're single and nobody wants them, all right? Because they've been living in a false reality, all right? Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3 down to 4. Man, wow. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
If our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Because really when you're lost, You're a program. Esau already tripped you. He already chipped you with a false reality. The actual chip is just a token that you belong to him. All right, go ahead.
Woo, man. Hey, check this out, bro. Now for head it says veiled.
Woo! That veil, hey, that you've already been programmed by Esau's media. That veil going back to Isaiah 25. That veil is covering everybody on the earth. All right.
So if our gospel be veiled,
Woo! You know?
but if our God, now go ahead, bro.
No, and Yahweh Shai is gonna pierce that veil.
Yep.
And that's when everybody's gonna know the truth. When those missiles are coming. All right?
And so he's doing it in spirit first, and then literally.
Only the elect can get in the spirit, but then literally everybody's gonna see it. You know?
But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
Yep. Who are lost. And you're lost. You're not physically lost. You have GPS navigators. You're spiritually lost. You don't know who your power is. You don't know who your God is. That's why Eve, the so-called black woman, was walking around with blonde hair, blue contacts. That's why Jake has tattoos all over his body. You're detached from your God. Your God, realistically, has laws for you to follow to keep you alive. All right?
To keep us alive.
Yeah.
For lost, it says perishing.
Woo! Hey, but Ezekiel 37 described those dry bones, those spiritually dead bodies, man. All right?
In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not.
And the God of this world is Esau, the so-called white man. How do you manifest having the power to blind the minds of somebody? Through your TV programming.
It's called programming too.
It's called programming. Through your school system. You come out, and that's why they call it the food system. You come out of the food system knowing nothing. And then you gotta watch these health documentaries and realize you've been lied to the whole time. Because it's okay to eat meat, but it's processed. It's okay to eat dairy, but it's processed. Then you try to go eat vegetables. The vegetables ain't got no fucking nutrients in it, because the earth they had kept the land salmon for 500 years since God was here, man. All right, so you leave high school. I don't know what an herb was when I was in school. I don't know what ashwagandha was. All right, he's blinded your mind by either not telling you, or he gave you he put a lie in your face. For an example, not knowing about something creates the illusion that it doesn't exist. If you never saw the tree fell in the forest, then in your reality, a tree never fell in the forest. So if you never knew about herbs and the virtues of roots and Yahweh Shai, so-called black men, all right, if you've never heard about it, in your mind, it never happened.
What's that saying? Perception is reality?
Your perception is your reality.
Yep.
The things you don't see creates the illusion that it never happened. Going back to the lesson, all right, you didn't know about the herbs. You've never seen a fucking picture of you in the history books on top of an Edomite with a sword during the time of the Moors. You've never seen a picture or a depiction of Yahweh Shai on a fucking cross, man. All right?
They think their history began in America.
You think and that's a slave. That's a slave. If in your mind, because he blinded your mind, in your mind, if your beginning started around the 1600s, nigga, you are still a fucking slave.
This nigga Esau cold.
Esau, and that boy good. He real good, man. That's called blinding the minds through the food system.
Yep.
All right, through the churches. I've been going to church all my life. I've never read Revelations 1 and 13 in a church, man. I didn't even know about that until I watched the Malcolm X movie when Malcolm X was cutting the priest up in jail. All right? But I've never heard that scripture, man.
Me neither.
All right?
In whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not.
That is a powerful scripture. He have blinded the minds through his media. The media calls a covering cast. The media is for your brain. It's to program your brain. It's to construct the reality inside of your mind.
Weapons of mass deception.
Weapons of mass deception. So when you set up shop, when you set up camp, or you teach in the ministry, the reason why you hear people say so many outrageous things, because they're just projecting their programming. They're just saying what they've been programmed to say. No, the Lord loves everybody. And what about John 3:16? Like the brother say, what about John 3:17? All right? You only regurgitate what you've been programmed to regurgitate. That's it.
What was that? Cognitive dissonance. It doesn't matter how much proof you show them.
Yep. It's against their programming. if we break down your Howard Shaw's so-called black man, we get the woolly hair, the bronze skin. Yep. All right, but if you were programmed when you were a child that Caesar Borgia, you're gonna still have that picture in your mind that's Caesar Borgia. So your answer to that gonna be, well, it doesn't matter what color he is, because really it's cognitive dissonance. Well, you've been told something that's contrary to your fucking programming. And pro means before, gram means the right. So it's like he's writing information in your mind by way of the media.
Like grapho?
Graph. Graham, all right? Going to show you you're a computer and your reality is a software program.
Like you said, that chip is just to finish them off.
The chip is just a finisher. Because like you stamp an envelope, you gotta put that stamp on it, baby.
Man. Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them.
Hey, yeah, because Yahweh, that goes back to Colossians 1:15, who's the express image of that invisible power. Yep. All right, Yahweh Shai is the image of the Most High. He's the ambassador. He's the universal ambassador of that supreme creator, Yahweh. All right?
That's
but
enough for you.
The reason why I say is that if our gospel be hid, is hid to them that are lost, because you heard it.
Yep.
All right? But it's just against your programming. All right?
Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
That's what makes Esau, which is the wicked, the god of this world. The earth was given to the hands of the wicked. All right, when it was time for him to receive his pity blessing, going back to
consolation prize.
Yeah, the little consolation prize. Like, okay, E, okay, let me go and give you some. You know, so it was manifested during the Renaissance period when he started to receive the earth, all right, as his possession. All right, go ahead.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. And the judges are who? The prophets. And that main prophet, that main judge, was whom the world calls Jesus Christ, but his name is Yahweh Shai, because he's depicted that as him. Tesseract Borgia, Christmas Serapis, that's been programmed or written in your mind, meaning you are programmed. That's part of your software programming. All right?
That's why we say, Jake worship the image of the beast.
Yep.
They believe in this system.
The image, because the image is a reflection. Or a reflection of what? That Roman Empire. All right, you worship the Roman Empire. You know who else worships the Roman Empire? Your woman. Your woman would rather go and be immersed in the Roman Empire than be under you. It's kind of like when we was talking in the car. It's like a chick, right, a female. She had to make a choice. If she gonna get with the popular dude, all right, that everybody knows and likes, she gonna get with the dude that nobody knows and be loyal to him. She gonna get with the winner. Yep. She gonna get with the popular dude. So your woman, she got with the popular dude, and for a long time, Esau was that guy. That's why she dyed in her blood like you was getting to. She had the blue context. She's this little groupie. Now though, the spirit of the earth is changing. Now they're starting to see wait a minute, that dude we was overlooking, he's actually somebody. All right, but for a long time, because of the gospel being hid and they were programmed, they were blinded, they thought he was that guy, man. Yep. All right.
I want to make a quick clarification.
Yep.
The image of the beast is not the picture of Caesar Borgia, but that image is used to uphold Edomite supremacy.
Yeah, that's like their flag.
Yep.
If the image,
standard,
it's like you said, it's not Caesar Borgia, but Caesar Borgia is like the flag of that Roman Empire. Like the flag of so-called white supremacy. We're God, and that's the God, and that's the God of this world. Caesar Borgia. That's the Esau saying, look, we're the God of this world. This is our time, man.
Them Edomite lies, man.
Them lies, man. That false reality. Hey, we discovered fire. Hey, we discovered all the medicines. Hey, we found out we was the first ones to find out those planets in outer space. We found out that the Earth wasn't flat. Hey, that's what he programmed doing a false reality.
What's that one movie, man? Adam's Family. But you had Wednesday. Her and some of those children, they represented the so-called Indians. And then you had the one little Edomite girl with the blonde hair. She was like, well, we gave you silverware, we gave you last names. You speaking about, what the so-called English did for Gad. So they the first people that came up with all that.
I had this book called The Golden Age of the War. They say, when we was walking in streets with street lights, they was walking in dark cities, man, dark, primitive cities. And when we was having eating with forks and knives, they were eating with their hands.
Yep.
We had all types of baths, public baths in our cities, man. All right, Esau was basically not bathing.
We civilized.
Yeah, we taught you how to use forks and knives. Yep. We civilized you.
They want to talk shit about the northern kingdom, man. The different northern tribes, from Canada, North, Central, and South America. Don't you know they was over here bathing with gold? They had so much gold over here, they was bathing in it, man.
And Gad knew how to live in if it wasn't for Gad, you wouldn't be here, E. Because the Most High had it set up. 50% of the Edomites didn't make it to America because they got sick. All right, this was new terrain, and the bodies couldn't adapt to this new terrain, but it was Gad that put you on the echinacea. It was Gad that put you on the golden seal. It was Gad that put you, they basically go together, like they work well together. But it was Gad that put you on those immune boosting roots. All right, it was Gad that showed you how to keep warm in a dark winter. That was Gad, man, the so-called Native Americans. It's a museum. No, go ahead. What you gonna say?
No, but he got the nerve to give out people smallpox blankets.
Hey man, but you know what? Your kingdom is going down.
That's right, bro.
Hey,
right.
Because sometimes you get vexed throughout the day. Yeah. Sometimes you get bitter. And hey, look, man, your kingdom is going down,
that's right,
boy.
Man.
You losing, man. The fact that we know the truth, you lost your power. And one of the things that made you elite is the fact that you were private. Nobody knew about you. But now, hey, that wicked man has been revealed. Mm-hmm. Well, we could go back towards that Job.
Okay.
All right.
I think you're gonna say something about like the inventions of the civil rights.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, the inventions in the Civil Rights Museum go back to either the so-called Negroes or Gad, man. All right, going back to the drill. You see guys working on their construction. That's nothing more than a modern day version of what Gad was using to dig into the soil, man. I want to say the axe. All right, I'm not gonna say the axe because the scriptures speak on a battle axe, but there are a lot of tools that Gad created in America, and E just put his little industrialized twist on it, man.
That's it.
If it wasn't for Gad, the so-called Native American Indians, you would not be here. If it wasn't for the Southern Kingdom, the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians, specifically the Negroes, you would not have a world power.
That's right.
Because the Most High put the spirit on us to invent everything that made you industrialized, man. Of course, that shit started in brick, but it's probably Jake doing that too. But I know for a fact in America, if it wasn't for Jake, y'all wouldn't be in a position, y'all would not be in the position you are in. Because going back to the Book of Kings, you didn't just take cockstrong basic niggas from Africa, man. Contrary to what you told us, man. All right, you took artisans, craftsmen, teachers, builders, man, and you brought them here, prisoners of war. That's why the Buffalo Soldiers, the men in the Civil War, Jake was kicking ass. Jake was kicking ass in the Civil War, man, because those are the sons of prisoners of war, most likely, man.
Different mighty men.
Different mighty men. All right.
So, man, this dude's something else. But like you say, even dealing with Britain, you go back to the British Empire. Slavery funded the British Empire, man.
Yep, it did. Because that happened during Europe. Around the 1500s, you had something called European colonization. So all Esau did through the British, the French, and the Spaniards, they went to different countries, all right, and seized those lands, extracted the resources from those lands, and then and dispersed slaves.
Only one person did this, man.
One fucking person did this. That was that beast. That's why you call it the beast. One person did this, man. But that was that beast coming back in the form of that European colonization, man. All right? Slavery is the reason why you're in power. And even compare us to Esau, like, because they got this thing with the swirling thing. Like, the E is like the alpha male or whatever. Like this nigga brought himself in power. Like, hard work and dedication brought him in power. No, putting us in slavery brought you in power, man. But it's over with now. We know who we are, and it's over with.
And a lot of you Edomites are getting upset, and you want to call us, black nationalists. These are black racists. Whatever you want to say about us. And some of y'all saying what we're doing is a double standard. Nah, it's called justice, man.
Yep.
The Lord is raising us up, man. You see, it's okay if He does it.
Yep. Yep.
It's okay, you know, if you rob the earth, like you said, of its resources and you enslave the people.
Yep.
But when we're gonna do it in righteousness, now that's the problem.
Yep.
Your time is up, man.
And that's an imbalance. The scripture says a false balance is an abomination.
Yep.
To put us in slavery and then to say, well, hey, it was the past. God loves everybody. That's an imbalance. I mean, that means I can go and run your house, kill everybody in your family, take your money, and then 5 days later, I was like, you still on that? And man, God loves everybody, man. You still tripping on that?
That's proof these the people of Cain.
Yep. Hey, I heard somebody say, injustice plus time does not equal justice. All because the long passage of time goes by after you create this atrocity, that does not justify the injustice. Okay? That's why it says the Most High required that which is past, and he's full of long suffering, man.
I got a real quick one for you.
Come.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
Because you didn't get punished immediately after you put us in slavery. Go ahead.
Therefore, the heart of the sons of Ben is fully set in them to do evil.
The heart of Esau, Edom, is set in them to fully do evil, meaning that nothing happened when you put the Israelites in slavery. All right, that meant you hit the gas with it afterwards. You went even harder afterwards, man. All right, and that's pretty much the point, man. You became proud when you didn't get a sentence for your work, man. All right.
Job 9:24 again. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Yep.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Hey, if not, where and who is he? And it's E. And that was the code that our forefathers wrote the whole time, because they knew at some point we was gonna forget all this, man. Slavery was a mother. Hey, slavery was deprogramming and reprogramming. Because in order to get reprogrammed, you got to get deprogrammed. Going back to Jeremiah 17:4, where it says you should discontinue from your heritage, that's being deprogrammed. But then you come back and get reprogrammed with Caesar Borgia, you speaking English. All right, you trying to deal with women based on the European way of living, the Edomite way of living, man. All right, there's a book called How to Make a Negro a Christian. There's a book, it's on Amazon. It's called How to Make a Negro a Christian. This is the beginning of programming your ass, man.
And what it did with Gad, they had those Indian boarding schools.
Yo, was it in Canada, in America?
Yeah.
They had to cut their hair.
It was kill the Indian, save the man.
Kill the Indian, save the man. And then, I used to say this when I was little, regretfully. If you gave me something and you want it back, I would call you an Indian giver.
Esau told us that.
Yeah, yep.
But it's crazy. He'll reverse it, but really he's the one that was all about that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, man. Yeah. I'm gonna call you what I heard somebody say on the internet. Like, what's a good racist name, so-called racist name to tell called Esau? You bird shit. You know, you're bird, because bird shit is like so-called white. The bird shit, man.
And got the nerve to call Gad red or red man. Well, he's the red man.
You're the red man. You're red, man. Because you can see the red blood behind your translucent skin. That's another form of deprogramming. To have melanin is a curse, or to have pigmentation is a curse, but to not have it is godly. But if you take a Negro that has albinism, then you know that that's a dis-ease. You know that that's like a disformation, so to speak. Yeah. Then you would admit that. But when the so-called Negro, like I said, he lacks melanin. What color is his hair? It's blonde. What color is his eye? It's blue. What color is his skin? It's no color. But you call it albinism, but when a whole race has it, that's godly.
So that's a nation of albinism.
That's a nation of albinism. And according to the laws of our forefathers, because the scriptures go, it didn't say blonde, it said a yellow thin hair.
Yeah.
Because really it's yellow. But you do the research, yellow is a result of what? You not having pigment in your hair.
That's a defect.
And the reason why your eyes, like Esau, he's known to have these angelic blue and green eyes, but you find out that the reason why it's blue or green, the reason why it's blue, because you can see the blue veins behind their iris, because they don't have any melanin in their iris. We got melanin in our iris, that's why you can't see our blue veins. But if you have albinism, then you don't have any melanin in your eyes, then you go straight to your blue veins, and that's why your eyes look blue.
A whole nation of deficiencies.
Yeah, and if your eyes are like hazel, that means it has a little melanin in it.
Right.
You know? Hey, even science tells you about the dominant and recessive genes. The reason we got big lips and big noses, those are dominant genes. All right?
And the proof is, man, like, you listen to a lot of, Edomites that are blondes, so to speak. They got the with the yellow thin hairs. They dumb as hell, man.
That's what they call it, a dumb blonde.
Dumb blonde.
And this Jake that I'm describing, he's a part of the comedic community, but he had a point. He was like, when you have melanin, everything is more vivid. I think melanin is more like you know how you have 4K TV, like Ultra TV.
Yeah.
I think melanin into your spirit is like a ultra,
a high definition.
High definition. Because he was like, when you eat an apple, somebody with melanin, they can taste all the juices and everything out of that apple. Now going back to intelligence, I believe he broke down that there's melanin in your pineal gland. I haven't watched the video in a long time, but there's melanin in your pineal gland, and it has that name that I'm thinking of. It has the word melanin in it, but there's melanin in your pineal gland. Now you said something going into dumb blonde. Apparently, when you're stripped of pigmentation and melanin as an Edomite, you don't have that same mental acuity as a Jake. That's when you have Jakes that start talking at a very early age, man. All right, the school system does not stimulate Jake's intellect, man. All right,
and they know that.
Yeah, and they know it. And it's for your destruction. Anywhere where it's a concentration of Jake and Esau is over it, that's just a laboratory. It's a laboratory for your destruction.
It got us growing up, like I said, in the food system, drinking goddamn cow milk for vitamin D when we could be out in the sun, getting it the right way.
But Jake out there playing basketball with an 11-pack, 12-pack, that's the vitamin D, man. Mm-hmm. All right? That's the vitamin D. I'll be thinking of a little square piece of, they feed the 12 tribes pork, And
it didn't fucking work, man.
Yep.
It didn't work.
We still here.
I got you, bro.
All right.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come, except there come a falling away first.
So, we giving you a lot of credit, E, but really you just a sword for the Most High. You're a chastening rod, because that falling away happened around 70 AD, man, when they sacked Jerusalem, and we dispersed it into different parts of the world, mainly Africa. All right, and we were in Africa for about, 1,500 years? And then to around the 1600s, 1619, that's during the time of the global slave trade, we went into captivity in America. All right.
For that day should not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Hey, now it was written as a clue in Job 9:24. If not, and where and who is he? But now hear it again. Here it is again. To that man of sin be revealed. Who's that man that caused the whole earth to transgress the laws of the Most High? Now let me make some clarification. The laws are only meant for Israel, right? But those other nations before Esau came into power, they had more structure and order and more morals and values than they do now, since they've taken the Western forbidden fruit, so to speak. All right? So that man of sin is Esau, man. That's Eve. It's Cain coming back. It's Esau, that same man that sold his birthright for a morsel of meat. That low-level nigga, man. All right? And he wants you to do it. That's a form of that's that psychopathic nature he has. He made a very poor decision. Now he wants you to make a poor decision.
You like him?
But yeah, he wants the Israelites, because he know that's how he could get us out of our heritage. He could get us out of our birthright if he make us sell our birthright.
Man, I keep reiterating this, since I'm doing lessons with the elder. I gotta just find the photo on Google Images, man. But that one rapper, Trippie Redd, they got pictures of this guy on shirts in that one store in the mall, Spencer's, and he looks very demented, man, like some sick Freddy Krueger shit with a sick Edomite artist spin on it, with the melting clocks and just a whole bunch of madness. But they got Trippie Redd looking like a straight up demon on those shirts, and they got the Illuminati pyramid right above his head, man. But like you said, Esau wants Jake to be like him.
Yep. He wants you to turn your back from your power. He wants you to turn your back, and that's why Jake, in order to get that notoriety, all right, you got pictures of like ASAP Rocky on top of a Baphomet reading that demonic book. I know you seen that picture, man.
Yep.
Esau, hey, Jake, you really gotta sell your soul to Satan, man. But the elect, because the Most High said he reserved to himself 7,000 men who would not bow to that image, man. All right, which is symbolic for the elect. All right.
Verse 4, who opposeth and exalts of himself above all that is called the Most High.
Now, Maxine, and getting everybody to take that Maxine, That's an example of him exalting himself above all that is called the Most High. Because the real so-called Maxine is in the earth. It's in your diet.
That's it, bro.
You know, so he just put himself on the forefront and said, no, take my product. I'm your God. Take my medicine. Medicine comes from my laboratory. And for a minute, we believed it. Before I came into the truth, I believed it. You get sick and go to the doctor. That's programming. That's how we were programmed, you know?
We didn't know any better.
We didn't know any better, but now we know better. And for you niggas like Slim Thug talking about, you know, you'll take medicine if you get sick and you know the truth. And man, fuck you, man.
Sirach 38:4. Shalom, man. Sirach 38:4. The Lord have created medicines out of the earth.
The Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai hath created medicines out of the earth. All right.
And he that is wise will not abhor them.
Yeah, like going back to the immune system. When Dusty Behind came over here to the American shores, he was sick. But Gad had roots. All right. Gad was aware of the knowledge of the earth to restore the health of Esau.
And they used pine cones too, didn't they?
Yep, they used pine. What's the pine nuts?
Yep.
And probably pine cones too. But I know for a fact that they use golden seal, echinacea. They have an American ginseng, which anytime you say ginseng, those are adaptogens which boost your immune system. They're tonics.
Yeah, I believe they because Elder Tyson died by
Pine sap. It's like pine sap.
Yeah, they had they took the seed out of the pine cone and used it.
Right, because that pine nut, because the seed is a nut, it's a pine nut. It has so much protein in it. All right, but the brother put on the comment board pine sap. All right, I think it's a herb called osha. Because one thing that Gad did, Gad studied the animals. And animals use herbs. They go to the wild. So Gad used it for themselves, man. But by the time he came over here, Gad knew how to restore their health, man. All right?
Who opposeth, back in 2 Thessalonians 2:4, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High.
Yeah, this him attempting to chip you with the not only the Maxine but the chip, man. All right, RFID chip. All right, that's him attempting to sit in the temple of Yahweh Shema Shai, and him telling the Most High, I own these people. I am the God of this world. All right,
showing himself that he is the Most High.
Showing himself that he is the Most High, man. All right, like going back to their programming. All right, it's no coincidence. You gotta look at this stuff in third person, man. You just gotta step outside yourself and ask yourself, why is it that he wins in everything? You watch any history movie, it's always so-called white man.
He always the goddamn hero.
He's always the damn hero, and everybody's the villain but him. He goes into a country to save the country from another enemy. But that's not in alignment with reality, man. You're the enemy. You're the enemy to the earth.
And speaking on Gad, now you have a lot of those old Western movies. A lot of you older Jakes, y'all used to grow up watching John Wayne. You know, people was always heralding this guy, praising him, you know, as opposed to our people, man. As opposed to Gad, man. You know, when these are the enemies, John Wayne, him and his people are the enemy, man.
My people told me when they were younger, they thought the so-called Native Americans were the bad guy. Because growing up watching those Western movies, they told me, I thought the Native Americans, they were the bad guy. You know? But it's another form of cognitive dissonance, because you'll say that, but in the same breath, you're a Christian. So you'll believe, you be like, well, you know, so-called black people, they do bad to them. We kill each other. Or all our people not like that. So in the same breath, you know, you got that cognitive dissonance going on, man. I watched the movie King Solomon, and they had, of course, King Solomon was an Edomite, but the Queen of Sheba was Biblical A. Fox.
Yeah.
But the Babylonians were Edomites. Like, damn, what were the niggas at? I'm sorry saying niggas, but like, okay, Babylonian, where the Cushites at? Where the Hamites at, man? Everybody got blood. Where were the so-called Africans?
All these different dark nations, but it was only Esau back then?
Only Esau back then, but that's TV programming. Because, like, going back to the elephant has the longest attention span as an animal, but the Esau knows the power of images. Once the image is in your mind, it never leaves.
That's why they covered the faces of the judges.
He covered the face of the judges. You know?
I got a precept for you, then I'm gonna finish off with 2 Thessalonians.
Okay, in the closing one will be St. John 8:32.
All right, bro. Revelation chapter 13, beginning at verse 6. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against the Most High,
Yep.
to blaspheme his name,
Yep.
and his tabernacle.
Because Jesus Christ is a fucking blasphemy. Jesus is blaspheme, man. His name ain't no Jesus, man.
We're just saying God.
Or God, or Jehovah.
Yep.
You know?
To blaspheme his name and his tabernacle.
Yep.
Then that's us.
That's us there, yep.
And them that dwell in heaven.
Because we're Negroes, we're criminals, we're immigrants. All right, that's blaspheme, man.
Think about the Renaissance right here. All that weird Edomite art, making fun of the angels.
Oh, man. That iconoclasm.
Iconoclasm. That's it, bro. That's it right there.
Yeah.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Yeah, I think that goes back to 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, how you rule the earth in wickedness, roughly paraphrasing. But when you came into power, man, hey, over the saints, you know how many so-called Native Americans you slaughtered? You know how many so-called Central and South American Native Americans you slaughtered? All right, saints, the Southern Kingdom, man. And showing you Esau knows that movie that was written by Steven Spielberg, Amistad.
Yeah.
You know, they had Jake on that the ship. All right, they had Jake on that ship. Then Jake took over the ship. Then Jake had on their turbans and they started praying to the east. They was saying Yahweh, 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 and they was praying. And they show you without telling you who you are, man. You know?
2 Thessalonians 2:9. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan.
Something that Priest Abaya and I kept always gets into. Esau just got into witchcraft, man. When he came into power doing, you get the Knights Templars, the orders of the Freemasons. All they did was get those same occultic practices that they were practicing in Babylon.
That's it.
And they perfected it. All right, because you either gonna come here in power through the left hand or the right hand. And every power, every king has their Satanists, their priests. That's how the Most High had his temple. All right, Satan has his temple, and he has his priests, which are portals into to Satan, man. You watch the movie 300 when Leonidas went into the mountain to consult the oracle. What did they have? He was talking to warlocks, man. All right, and with the oracle was speaking through that virgin. All right, showing you that was in the witchcraft back then. All right. But when Esau came into power, he was not exclusive. He's not different. He just got into those same, that dark art, man. Going back to the Babylonian Talmud, those fake Jews are all witches. They're warlocks practicing sorcery, man. All right, but they use the Bible as like a cover up as to what they're really doing, man. Because would you really be cool with Jews ruling the world if they straight up said we worship Satan?
Yeah, they're very heavy into Saturn worship. They worship the planet Saturn.
Yep.
But like you said, they worship Satan.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And particularly these fake Jews, man, the people that claim to be us.
They're the core. They're the core of it, man. Because even Edomites don't like Jews, those fake Jews, although they're Edomites too. But the so-called Christian Edomites, they don't like the fake Jews. But those fake Jews, they're the pure Satanists, man.
The synagogue of Satan.
They're the synagogue of Satan, man. All right? They're the driving force behind it. They're really in tune with Satan, man. They're really in tune with Baphomet. All right?
2 Thessalonians 2:9 again. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan.
Yep.
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
And part of those lying wonders is what? The media. The media, the weapons of mass deception. That's why it tells you in Job that you are a forger of lies, man.
Yep.
Those lying wonders, man. You know, because it is a wonder. Because you'll be in the spirit world, like if you're an angel watching this from the spirit world, you'll marvel. You'll marvel how the earth is lost and how people are misguided, man. It's nothing for a woman to say she's in a relationship with another woman. It's nothing for a Jake to worship Caesar Borgia, man. That's a lying wonder in your mind. Like, nah, it ain't no wrong with two people of the same sex to get together. They found love in the same sex. That's a lying wonder, man. All right, Yahweh Shah being depicted the so-called white. That's a lying wonder. All right.
Revelation 19. You know what? Get the main point. Revelation 20:7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Now, what does that mean? Satan should be loosed out of his prison, man? Because Septimius Severus during the end of the Roman Empire, he basically cut the 7 heads of the Roman Empire. So from around 325 AD to around 1300s, Esau came back into power, man. That's 1,000 year being expired. The so-called Dark Ages ended. All right.
And shall go out to deceive the nations.
Go out to deceive the nations. This was the beginning of what? Iconoclasm. The Renaissance means rebirth, the rebirth of the Roman Empire. All right, in iconoclasm, they destroyed all the icons, all the statues, and painting over it. There's a picture of a fake Jew in modern day painting over a dark, or was it a dark Yahweh Shah?
Yep.
A dark Yahweh Shah. All right, that's to deceive the world, man. All right.
Which are in the 4 quarters of the earth.
Right. And that's symbolic, basically meaning the whole world.
Yeah.
Because the earth isn't flat with 4 corners, man. All right.
And then, like you said, like now the media.
Yep.
Cause like that's the main way he does it now.
Yep. It's through the media. First he had artists to do it, but now the art is the media. In art class, the painting tools that they call it a medium.
Yep. It's crazy because when the TV was first invented, they used to call it a talking picture.
Wow. All
right, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna get the closing for you, bro. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 19. I'll begin at verse 18. For Hamashiach also have once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to the heavenly Father, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison. The Israelites in captivity in their mind.
Yep.
Woo.
Hey.
They weren't in literal prison.
Yeah.
You got these Christians, they say that the Lord taught in hell, like he went to teach in hell. No, he taught to the Israelites that was in lower state, man. Believing no different philosophies in Rome.
Hey, there was shackled by those false philosophies in their minds.
Yep.
Christianity is a prison. It's a mental prison. It's a mental prison. It reminds me of that movie Get Out. All right. And when he was talking to that woman, and the woman was like, no. And that's that Christian telling you, no, it doesn't matter what color he is. Yeah. God loves everybody. No. But really, in the spirit is in prison, man.
It's crazy because they actually show how the Edomites wanted their bodies.
Yep.
Ooh,
the organs, the bodies.
Yeah.
And then it shows you too. They showed you the nature of real Edom. They're sinister.
Yep.
They're demonic people, man.
The coagula, like they showed the monarch butterfly. That goes in MK Ultra. Yep. So they have Jacob under the ultimate mind control.
Yep.
Why did they show the monarch butterfly, man?
Man, hey, this American thing, this thing in America, we're gonna really fully understand it when Yahweh Shai gets here. We're gonna see it objectively, because we're inside of it. But we inside the forest, so to speak. But this thing, America, is a very demonic science project to the 12 tribes, man.
Yeah, the CIA didn't get rid of the MK Ultra program, man.
Yeah.
For the Creator was made.
Finish it off for you, bro.
Okay, come on.
St. John chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Hey, there you go. And ye shall know the truth. And that's where our boldness comes from. Our boldness comes from being spiritually liberated. All right, our boldness in Yahweh Bashem Hawashai. Okay? See, we were programmed just like the 2/3, but the Most High loosened those shackles off our mind, man. All right, that's how the Most High said, I call you to the great men. All right? In this gospel song, it went into this, like, it went into something like this. Break every chain, Did you have any closing statements?
That's it, bro.
And with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakakudash.
Double honors once again to our apostles, great millstone rule well. Peace and blessings to the house of the elect. And with that, Abba Ball.
Abba Ball.
Kum Yashalom.
Kum Yashalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.